Okay, dear students, today lesson is the bureaucratic approach. Max Weber and Karl Marx. It is a very important of the bureaucratic methods in India. Not only in India, it's worldwide. It's a very important subject for to discuss about the administrative activities through the bureaucrats. So because of the bureaucrats activities are very important for the subject wise. So dear students, we have to discuss about the bureaucracy. Refers to both body of non-elected government officials and an administrative policy making group. Historically, a bureaucracy was a government administration managed by departments staffed with non-elected officials. Today, bureaucracy is the administrative system governing any large institutions, whether publicly owned or the privately owned. The public administration in many countries is an example of a bureaucracy, but so is the centralized hierarchical structure of a business firm. Bureaucracy as a political theory is mainly a centralized form of management and tends to be different from the autoc- autocracy in which management is decentralized. Various commenters have noted the necessity of bureaucracies in modern society. The German sociologist Max Weber argued that bureaucracy constitutes the most efficient and rational way in which human activities can be organized and that systematic processes and organized hierarchies are necessary to maintain order, maximize efficiency, and eliminate favoritism. On the other hand, Webb also saw unfettered bureaucracy as a threat to individuals' freedom, with the potential of trapping individuals in an impersonal iron age of the base rational control. Modern bureaucracy has been defined as a comprising four features: hierarchy, clearly defined shades of competency and division of labor; continuity, a structure where administrators have a full time salary and advance within the structure; impersonality, prescribed rules and operating rules rather than arbitrary actions; and expertise, officials are choosing according to merit, have been trained and hold access to knowledge. So etymology and usage edit the term bureaucracy oriented in the French language. It combines the French word bureau, desk or office, with the Greek word kratos, rule or political power. The French economist Jacques Claude Maurice Vincent de Journay 1712-1759, it's mean born 1712, death 1759, coined the word in the mid 18th century. Gourmany. Gournay never wrote the term down, but a letter from a contemporary letter quoted him. The late Mr. M. D. Gournay sometimes used to say we have an illness in France, France which bids fair play havoc with us. This illness is called a bureau Sometimes he used in invent a fourth or fifth form of government under the heading of a bureaucracy. The born on Grimm, 1723, death is 1807. The first known English language used dates to 1818 with Irish novelist Lady Morgan referring to the appro- apparatus used by the British to subjugate their Irish colony as the bureaucratic or office tyranny by which Ireland has so long been governed. By the mid 19th century, the word appeared in a more neu- neutral, neutral sense, referring to a system of public administration in which office, offices were held by unelected carrier, unelected carrier officials. In this context, bureaucracy was seen as a distinct form of management, often subservient, subservient to a monarchy. In the 1920s, the German sociologist Max Weber expanded the definition of to including any system of a administration conducted by trained professionals according to fixed rules. Weber was bureaucracy as a relatively positive development. However, by 1944, the Australian economist Ludwig van Mises opined in the context of his experience in the Nazi regime that the term bureaucracy was always applied with an opprobrious antonents, and by 1957 the American socialist Robert Merton suggested that the term bureaucrat had become an epithet, a simple for word. In some circumstances, the word bureaucracy is also used in political and government with a disappropriating tone to disappraise officials, rules that make it difficult to do things by whom. In workplaces, the word is used by whom very often to blame complicated rules, processes, and written work that make it hard to get something done. Socio bureaucracy would then refer to certain social influence that may affect the functions of the social society. So, although this term bureaucracy first oriented in the mid 18th century, organized and consistent administrative systems existed much earlier. The development of written 3500 BC and the use of documents was critical to the administration of this system, and the first uh, def- definitive emergency of bureaucracy occurred in ancient summer, where an emergent classes of scribes used clay tablets to administrator have a harvest and to allocate least spoil. Ancient Egypt also had a hereditary class of scribes that administrated the civil services bureaucracy. The civil services bureaucracy, a hierarchy of original pro- proconsuls and their deputies. The deputies administered the Roman Empire. Critical needed the reforms of dielection. Emperor from 284 to 305 doubled the number of administrative districts and led to a large scale expansion of Roman bureaucracy. The early Christians author Lactanitua C 250 to C 325 claimed that Diocletian's reforms led to widespread economic stagnation since the provinces were divided into minute portion and many presidents and the multitude of inferior officers lay heavy on each territory. After the empire split, the Byzantine Empire developed a notoriously complicated administrative hierarchy, and in the 20th century, the term Byzantine came to refer to any complex bureaucratic structure. In China, when the Qin dynasty 221 to 206 BC unified of China under the legalist legalist system, the emperor assigned administration to dedicated officials rather than nobility, ending feudalism, ending feudalism in China, replacing it with in centralized bureaucratic government. The form of government created by the first emperor and his advisors was used by later dynasties to structure their own government. Under this system, the government thrived as a talented individuals could be more easily identified in the transformed society. The Han dynasty 202 BC 220 AD established a complicated bureaucracy based on the teaching of a Confucius who emphasized the importance of a ritual in a family, in relationships, and in political. With each subsequent dynasty, the bureaucracy evolved in 165 BC Emperor when introduced the first method of recruitment to civil services through examination, while Emperor 141 to 87 BC cemented the ideology of Confucius into mainstream governance. He installed a system of recommendations and nominations in government service known as a auxiliary and a national academy whereby officials would select candidates to take part in an examination of the Confucian classic form, which emperor who would select officials in the Shu dynasty 581 to 618 and the subsequent Tang dynasty 618 to 907. The C class would begin to present itself by means of the fully standardized civil service examination system of partial recruitment of those who passed standard examinations and earned an official's degree at recruitment by recommendation to office was still prominent in both dynasties. It was not until the Song dynasty 960 to 1279 that the recruitment of those who passed the exams and earned degrees was given greater emphasis and significantly expanded during the Song dynasty. 960 to 1279, the bureaucracy became a meritocratic. Following the Song reforms, competitive examination took place to determine which candidates qualified to hold given positions. The imperial examination system lasted until 1905, 6 years before the Qing dynasty collapsed, marking the end of China's tradition bureaucratic system. The more the United Kingdom added in 18th century Department of Exercise developed a sophisticated bureaucracy fixed the customs house in the city of London instead of the inefficiency and often corrupt system of a tax farming that prevailed in absolute states such as French. The executive is able to exert control over the entire system of tax revenue and government expenditures. By the late 18th century, the ratio of the physical bureaucracy to population in Britain was approximately 1 in 1,300, almost 4 times larger than the second most heavily bureaucratized nation, French. Thomas Taylor Midway Britain's consul in Guangzhou argued in his desultory note on the government and people of China 1847 that the long duration of the Chinese empire is slowly and altogether owed to the good government which consists in the advancement of men of talent and merit only, and that the British must reform their civil services by making the institutions meritocratic, influenced by the ancient Chinese imperial examinations. The Northern Travel, the Nortec Traveling Report of 1854, the recommendations should be on the basis of a merit determined through competitive examination. Candidates should have a solid general education to enable interdepartmental transfers, and promotions should be through achievements rather than pre-permanent patronage or purchase. This led to implementation of Her Majesty's Civil Services as a systematic meritocratic civil services bureaucracy. In the British civil services, just as it was in China. Entrance to the civil services was usually based on a general education in an instant classic, which similarly gave bureaucratics greater prestige. The Cambridge expert ideal of the civil ideal services was identical to the confusion ideal of a general education involved efforts through humanism. We well into the 20th century classic literature, history and language remained heavily favored in British civil services examination in the period of 1925 to 1935. Percent of British civil services entered, entrants consisted of such graduates like the Chinese model models considers of a personal values of the British model also took personal physique and character into account. Like the British, the government development of French bureaucracy was influenced by the Chinese system under XIV. Louis XIV of France, the world nobility had neither power nor a political influence, neither either only privilege being a exemption from taxes. The dissatisfied noblemen complained about this unnatural state of affairs and discovered similarities between absolutely monarchy and bureaucratic disposition. With the translation of a Confucian tax, text acts during the uh, Enlightenment, the concept of a meritocracy reached intellectuals in the West who saw it as an alternative to the traditional ancient regime of Europe. Western percent, perception of China in the 18th century admired the Sujan bureaucratic system as favorable over European governments for its seeming meritocracy. Voltaire claimed that the Chinese had perfected a moral science and frank choice questionnaire advocated an economic and political system modeled after that of the Chinese. The governments of China, E- Egypt, Peru, and empires Catherine II were regarded as models of the eh, enlightened dis- despotism, admired by such figures as a director a D. Almerbet and Voltaire. Napoleon. Napoleonic Francis adopted this meritocracy system and soon was a rapid and dramatic expansion of a government accompanied by the rise of the French civil service and its complex systems of bureaucracy. This phenomenon became known as a bureau Biromania. In the early 19th century, Napoleon attempted to reform the bureaucracies of France and other territories under his control by the imposition of the standardized Napoleonic code, but paradoxically, that led to even further growth of the bureaucracy. French civil services examination adopted in the late 19th century were also heavily based on general cultural studies. These features have been likened to the earlier Chinese mode. Other industrialized national by the mid 19th century, bureaucratic forms of administration were firmly in a place across the industrialized world. Thinkers like John Stuart Mill and Karl Marx began to theorize about the economic functions and power structures of bureaucracy in contemporary life. Max Weber was the first to endorse bureaucracy as a necessary feature of modernity, and by the late 19th century, bureaucratic forms had begun their spread from government to the large scale institutions. The trend towards in increased bureaucratization continue in the 20th century, with the public sector employing over 5% of the workforce in many Western countries. Citation needed within capitalist system. Informal bureaucratic structures began to appear in the form of a corporate power hierarchy hierarchies detailed in mid-century works like the organization man and the man in the gray final suit. Meanwhile, in the Soviet Union and essential bloc nation, a powerful class of bureaucratic administrators trend nomenclature culture govern nearly all aspects public life. The 1980s brought a back backlash against perception of big government and the associated bureaucracy. Politicians like Margaret Thatcher and Ronald Reagan gained power by promising to eliminate government regulatory bureaucracies, which they was as a overbearing and return economics production out to a more purely capitalist mode, with it they saw as more efficient in the business. World managers like Jacques Velac gained fortune and renew by eliminating bureaucratic structures inside corporations. Still, in the modern world, most organized institutions rely on a bureaucratic system to manage information, process records, and administrator complex system. Although the decline of paperwork and the widespread use of elections databases in transferring the way bureaucracy functions bureaucracy functions was the more perfect full of the administration activities in the governmental activities governmental activities. So, the Max Weber was born in 1864 in Western Germany. He was studied law at the University of Edinburgh in 1889. He submitted the doctoral dissertation on a contribution to history of a model business organization. Later, joined the University of Berlin as an instruction in law and completed his second work called Roman Argane History and its significances of the public and private laws. In 1894, he became a professor of economics and Heidelberg University. Heidelberg University. Weber began Weber began his analysis at the age of 13. He attached importance to practical experience, then library research. He was organized progressive in outlook but conservative at the library research. He was progressive in outlook but conservative at heart. His writing reflect the social conditions of his time. The unification of Germany has a great impact on his writing. His writing. Max Weber, his ideas on bureaucratic. Before analyzing the ideas of Max Weber on bureaucracy, it is important to have some ideas about the evaluation of the concept of bureaucracy. The word bureaucracy is the first used by a French economist, M. de Gournay, a British political philosopher, J.S. Mill has also used the word in his works. Moscow and Michels also wrote extensively about bureaucracy, but it is Max Weber who have importance to the systematic study of bureaucracy and its characteristics. Weber did not define bureaucracy, simply he described it according to Max Weber. Bureaucracy, an bureau, body of administrative body of appointed officials. He excluded the elected officials. Weber classified bureaucracy into patrimonial bureaucracy, legal rational bureaucracy. The characteristics of legal rational bureaucracy is a popular known as a Weberian model of a bureaucracy. Weberian model bureaucracy characteristics. Webner model of bureaucracy are the model of a legal rational bureaucracy as a following characters. One, official business is conducted on a continuous basis. Second one, an administrative agency functions in accordance with the stipulated rules and is characterized by three related attributes. In, in this one, A, the powers and functions of each officials is delimited in term of impersonal criteria. In that B, the official is given matching authority to carry out his responsibility. In the C, the meaning of a completion at its disposal are strictly limited and the conditions under which their employment is legitimate are clearly defined. Every officials and every office are part of a hierarchy of authority. Higher officials of offices supervise while lower offices and officials have the right of appeal. A fourth one, officials do not own the resource necessary for rendering the duties, but they are accountable for use of official resources. Officials, business and private efforts, official revenue and private incomes are strictly separated. Fifth one, office cannot be appropriated by the incumbents as private property which can be sold and inherited. Sixth one, administration is conducted on the basis of written documents. The Max Weber, the official, he is personally free, not a servant to anybody. personally and appointed to an official position on the basis of a contract. So, second one in he exercise the authority delegated to him in accordance with the impersonal rules, and his loyalty is expressed through faithful execution of his official duties. His appointment and job placement depend upon his technical qualifications. His administrative work is his full-time occupation, and his work is rewarded by a regular salary and by prospect of a regular advancement in of a lifetime career. The the structural and behavioral elements. Impersonal order in Weber's ideas type, there is no place for personal whims and fancies or irrational sentiment. Official activities is conducted in a business like manner with a high degree of operational impersonality. To put it in the words of a Merton, authority, the power of a control which derives from an acknowledged status, lies in the office and not in the particular person who perform the official role. Hierarchy, it means each floor officials in under the control and supervision of a higher one. He also states that the whole administrative staff and under the supreme authority are organized in the clarity defined hierarchy of officers. Remuneration is fixed in accordance with the nature of the job and the garter responsibility, promotion, and career advancement is on the basis of a seniority and merits. Rules, they regulate the conduct of an office. Their rational applications requires specialized training, bureaucracy, work in accordance with the consistent system of rules. Division of law, this involves this involves as a specified spheres of a confidence which has been a marked of a special office of the administration. So required to special training, bureaucracy, work in accordance with the consist system of the rules. Division of labor, this involves a specific sphere of competence which has been marked off as part of a systematic division of labor. Thus, division of labor involves the provisions of the incumbent with the necessary authority to carry out these functions. Rationality, Weber's ideas on efficiency and rationality are closely related to his ideal typical model of bureaucracy. Weber observes the bureaucracy is the most rational known means of achieving improve imperative control over human beings. It attained a high degree of efficiency in the organization. Rule orientation is bureaucracy is a rule oriented rationality and impersonality are mainly achieved through the formulation of rules and procedures. They define official spheres of authority and conduct. Neutrality, bureaucracy is supposed to be a neutral and political in its orientation. Ebner concept of bureaucracy and is a model of bureaucracy. It is a criticism. Weber concept or model of a bureaucracy has received widespread criticism and condemnation. Weber's bureaucracy model is criticized by a behavioral writer like Simon and C. Bernard. They argue if Weber model writers accepted, it leads to administrative efficiency and they stress on the uh, informal aspects. Informal aspects. It leads to administrative inefficiency and they stress on the informal aspects of the organization. Merton believes that strict observation of the hierarchy rules lead to such consequences which are against the interests and objectives of the organization. Selnick criticized Webner's model for its influence is decreasing the actual behavior of bureaucrats. Talcott personal criticized Weber idea of a administrative self to be a technically superior. He questions the internal constancy of a Weber's ideas type of bureaucracy. Weber did not recognize the influence of environment factors on the behavior of organization. Weber's concept of a rational administration is also criticized from the viewpoint of changing environment finds to this def- defect. Peter Blow says that the efficient administration is possible only when an individual is allowed to identify with the purpose of the organization and to adapt his behavior to the changing circumstances. H.C. Creel and A.B. Spitzer questioned the modernity of a Weber's concept. For instance, Creel found out the existence of the Weber's model in the Chinese by 200 BC. So, this is the Weber's bureaucracy. The Weber's bureaucracy is the very important to development of administration activities in the country wise. So, next is the Karl Marx. The Karl Marx bureaucracy is also very important for the organizational level. So, Karl Marx theory is about the socialist method and model of the bureaucracy. So, this is the very intellectual thinking of the Karl Marx. Karl Marx theorized about the role and functions of a bureaucracy in his critique of Hegel's philosophy of right, published in 1843. In philosophy of right, Hegel had supported the role of specialized officials in public administration, although he never used the term bureaucracy himself. By contrast, Marx was opposed to bureaucracy. Marx posited that while corporate and government bureaucracy seems to operate in opposition, in actuality, the mutually rely on one another to exist. He wrote that the corporation is a civil society's attempt to become state, but the bureaucracy is the state which has really made itself into civil societies. John Stuart Mill, writing in the earlier 1960s, political scientist John Stuart Mill theorized that successful monarchies were especially bureaucratic and found evidence of the existence in imperial China, the Russian Empire, and the regimes of Europe. Mill referred to bureaucracy as a distinct from of a government, separate from representative democracy. He believed bureaucracy had certain advantages Most importantly, the accumulation of experience in the those who actually conduct these efforts. Nevertheless, he believes this form of a governance compared purely to a representative government as it relied on appointment rather than direct elections. Will wrote that ultimately the bureaucracy stipulates the mind, and that a bureaucracy always tends to become a pedantocracy. Max Weber elder, the fully developed the bureaucratic apparatus compares with other organizations exactly as does the mission with the non-mechanical modes of a production. The German sociologist Max Weber was the first to formally study bureaucracy, and his work led to the popularizing of this term. In his essay Bureaucracy, published in his magnum opus Economy and Society, Weber described many ideal typical forms of a public administration, government, and business. His ideas typically bureaucracy, whether public or private, is characterized by hierarchical organization, formal lines of authority, Chinese of the commanding of a fixed area of activity, a rigid division of labor, a regular and continuous execution of a assigned tasks, all decisions and powers specified and districted by regulations, officials with expert training in their fields. Career advancement dependent on technical qualifications evaluated by organizational rules, not individuals. Weber lists several recommendations for the emergence of bureaucracy, including an increasing in the amount of a separate and population being administrated, and increasing in the complexly of the administrative tasks being carried out, and the existence of a monetary economy requiring a more efficient administrative system, development of communication and transportation technologies make more efficient administration possible, and democratization and rationalization of a culture results in demands for a equal treatments. Although he was not necessarily an admirer of a bureaucracy, Weber saw bureaucratization as the most efficient and rational way of organization human activities, and therefore as the key to rational legal authority indispensable to the modern world. For Furthermore, he was it as the key process in the ongoing decentralization of a Western society. Webner also was a bureaucracy. However, as a threat to individual freedoms, and the ongoing bureaucratization as leading to a polar night of I see darkness in which increasing rationalization of human life traps individuals in a soulless iron cage of a bureaucratic rules based on rational control. Weber's critical study of the bureaucratization of the society became one of the most enduring parts of the mark. Many aspects of the modern public administration are based on his work, and classic hierarchically organized civil services of the continental types of a called brain, civil services, or Webner bureaucracy. It is debated among social scientists whether Webner bureaucracy contributed to economic growth. Woodrow Wilson, written as an academic while prepared at a Brevard College, Woodrow, Woodrow Wilson's Easy the Study of Administration argued for a bureaucracy as a professional cadre developed of a allegiance to fleeting politics. Wilson advocated a bureaucracy that is a part of a political life only as the methods of the counting house are a part of the life of a society, only as a missionary is part of the manufactured product, but it is at the same time raised very far above the dull level of mere technical details by the fact that through its greater principles it is directly connected with the lasting maximum of a political wisdom, the permanent truth of a political progress. Wilson did not advocate a replacement of rule by the governed. He simply advised that administrative questions are not political questions, although politics sets the tasks for a administration. It should not be suffered to manipulated its offices. The easy become a foundation for the study of public administration in America. Ludwig von Mises. Learn more. This section needs additional citations. Additional citation for verification in his 1944 work Bureaucracy. The Austrian economist Ludwig von Mises compared bureaucratic management to profit management. Profit management, he argued is the most effective method of organization when the service rendered may be checked by economic calculations of a profit and loss. When, however, the service in questions cannot be subjected to economic calculation, bureaucratic management is necessary. He did not oppose universally bureaucratic management. On the contrary, he argued that bureaucracy is an indispensable method for social organization, for it is the only method by which the law can be made supreme and is the protector of the individuals against uh, despotic arbitrariness. Using the example of the Catholic Church, he pointed out that bureaucracy is only appropriate for an organization whose code of conduct is not subjected to change. He then went on to argue that complaints about bureaucratization usually refer not to the criticism of the bureaucratic methods themselves but to the in- intrusion of a bureaucracy into all spheres of human life. Mrs. saw bureaucratic process at work in both the private and public spheres. However, he believed that bureaucratization in the private sphere could only occur as a consequences of government interference. According to him, what must be realized is only that the straight jacket of a bureaucratic organization paralyzes the individual's innovative, while with the capitalist market society an innovator still has a chance to succeed. The farmer marks for stat- stagnation and preservation of a investorate method that latter makes for a program and improvements. improvement. So Robert K. mentioned American society. Robert K. Merton expanded on Weber's theories of bureaucracy in his work Social Theory and Social Structure, published in 1957. While Merton agreed with certain aspects of Weber's analysis, he also noted the dysfunctional aspects of bureaucracy, which he attributed to a trained incapacity, incapacity resulting from over conformity. He believed that bureaucratic are more likely to defend their own entrenched interests than to act to benefit the organization as a whole, but that pride in their craft makes them resistant to change in established routines. Martin started that bureaucratic emphasize formality over interpersonal relationships, and have you been trained to ignore the specialized circumstances of particular cases, causing causing them to come across as a arrogant and hotly. In his book, A General Theory of a Bureaucracy, first published in 1972, Dr. Elton Jacques describes the discovery of an universal and uniform understanding structure of a managerial or work levels in the bureaucratic hierarchy for any type of employment system. Elton Jacques argues and presents evidence that for the bureaucracy to provide a valuable contributions to the open society, some of the following conditions must be met. Number of levels in bureaucracy hierarchy must match the complexity level of the employment system for which the bureaucratic hierarchy is created. Elite Jacques identified maximum 8 levels of a complexity for the bureaucratic hierarchies. The roles within the bureaucratic hierarchy differ in the level of work complexity. The level of work complexity in the role of rules must be matched with the level of human capability of the role holders. The 8 levels of human capability, the whole of work complexity in any managerial role with a bureaucratic hierarchy must be one level higher than the level of work complexity of the subordinate role. Any managerial roles in bureaucracy, full managerial accountable and authorities, the veto selections to the team, decided task type and specific task assignments, decided personal effectiveness and recognition, decided ins- institutions of a remove from the team within due process, lateral working accountability and authorities must be defined for all the rules of in the hierarchy types of latter known working accountability and authorities. Collateral advisory services, getting and giving coordinative uh, monitoring, auditing prescribed. The definition of a effective bureaucratic hierarchy by Elton Jacques is of importance not only to sociology but to psychology, social anthropology, economics, political and social philosophy. They also have